And if you have to choose one of these to drinking, the one is clean water and the one is not really clean water, what would you choose?
I will choose a clean water because I think the other is affect our health and it is unhealthy.
Hello to our students, parents, and everyone. Welcome to iSMART Ambassador Talk and Share. And this is a place where we're not looking for cookie cutter answers, but this is a space for our ambassador can sit down and share about their perspective through the social issues in English. And through the story, we can see that just by being heard, every individuals can create compact and they can share the inspiration that drives the action for everyone. So our guest today is the 9th grader from Ho Chi Minh City, and she had won a iSMART Ambassador title with a topic, the ethical use of AI in education. But today, she's just not coming here and sitting and talk about AI, but talking about clean water. So right now, I'm really curious and really excited to meet her. Okay, let's give it up for Ngọc Minh. Let's introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Nguyễn Ngọc Minh. I am a 9th grade student. I come from Đức Trí school. I am very happy today to come here to share my feeling about clean water.
Yeah, that's great. I'm very happy to have you here, have you today on my show. So, right now, beside all the informations that you just introduced yourself to the audience, let's describe yourself with 5 keywords. What would it be?
5 keywords are thoughtful, confident, independent, hardworking, and optimistic.
Optimistic, that's a really nice keyword. Yeah, how and why you choose that word?
I chose the word optimistic because I always try to find solution to solve the problem when I face it.
Yeah, that's really great. I saw your video that you present your topic in the competition, and it has a lot of messages. That's really great. So, with your own, do you have your own quote or message with the topic is responsibility or future or something like that?
My favorite quote about social justice is injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere by Martin Luther King Jr. It is meaningful for me because it represents the value of fairness and it also highlights the importance of justice and responsibility around the world.
Yeah, that's a great message that you bring us to here. So today we have the topic is clean water, and I got something for you. Okay, right now I have 2 glasses of water, and if you have to choose one of these to drinking, the one is clean water and the one is not really clean water, what would you choose?
I will choose a clean water because I think the other is affect our health and it is unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't think like no one would choose another options, and this is one of the message that we want to send to you in this episode. So if you want to know you want to know more about this topic, let's check it out. Okay, right now we continue the topic about clean water. So before we continue the main topic, you used to present about the AI topic and it's connected to the clean water topic. So first of all, I want to ask, do you have any research about any places in the world that don't have condition to have the standard clean water?
Yes, in Africa, in many places, people they don't have clean water to use in daily life, and they have to go for a long distance just to get clean water.
Yeah, that's a really hard time for them because the women in Africa, they spend like 2 billion hours in a year just to get water for their family and their self for living and drinking. So, and can you guess how many people in Vietnam don't have the same condition like clean water like us, like the bare minimum standards?
I think the number is about 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, I think the number is way bigger than that. It's not thousand, it's millions. Like right now, the nearly half population don't have the condition with the standard clean water. And more than 20 million people have to live in areas that don't have the standard clean water too. So let's take a minute to think about that number. 20 million people, that's like 1 out of 5 people in Vietnam living with the risk of water insecurity. You can see here in the city, water, clean water is a regular basic needs, right? It's a regular thing. You turn on a tap and boom, there's the clean water. But in some places in Vietnam, it's not reality. Rain can be everywhere, but clean water is a whole different thing. So what do you think about that in your opinion?
I feel so heartbreaking when I hear that because something as basic as clean water is still a luxury for people in rural area in Vietnam. And through my presentation, I want to share a message for everyone to save water and how to use water in a better way.
Yeah, I think that's really great because through your presentation in the last competition, it's really a good way to do something like social media to help people to know more about their places in Vietnam, don't have the same condition like us. Yeah, and right now we're coming to the main topic. So you presented about AI ethics. It's a very modern topic, right? And you connect it to the water, clean water topic. But I don't see it's any common between these two topics. Can you share more about me?
The connection between these two topics is even though AI is one of the most advanced technologies today and clean water is one of the most basic human needs, they both relate to fairness and human responsibility. However, in both cases, not everyone has equal access to them. Someone can benefit greatly from technology and innovation, but others still struggle to access necessities like clean water, education, or digital tools. I think these topics remind us that real progress is not only about creating new technologies, but also making sure that development can benefit everyone, not just a group of people.
Yeah, that's great. That's really impressive. And before you come here, do you ever count and like do a math like to see how much water do you think like your normal day, your routine will requires?
I have never really counted how many times I use water in a day, yes. But I think it happens very often. Just this morning, I used water to wash my face, brush my teeth, and drink water before leaving home. I think we use water so naturally every day that sometimes we forget how important it really is.
So clean water is basic needs for us, right? And water can help us to do so many things, like living, drinking, and it's good for our health and maybe for the economy. But right now, if you have to explain for a friend to know that lacking clean water is worse, it's not just about don't have clean water to drinking, what would you gonna say?
Lacking clean water is much more serious than many people think. Without water, humans cannot survive for long, yes. And our daily lives would completely change. If there is not enough water, it can affect agriculture because farmers need water to grow crops and produce food. And if there is not enough clean water to use, it can lead to food shortage and affect many people's lives and incomes. Yes. There are still many people around the world who still struggle to access clean and safe water. That's why protecting water resources is very essential for our future.
Yeah. Is there any moment in your life that you thinking that you're so lucky, that we are so lucky to have clothes, electricity, Wi-Fi, and clean water? Yeah. Like you're so luckier than the other kids in the places that they don't have the same condition like us.
Yes, definitely. I remember there was a time when my area suddenly lost electricity and water. At first, I think it's just a small inconvenience, but later I realized how difficult life becomes without those basic things. I couldn't use the internet to study, and I cannot charge my phone or even take a shower comfortably. That experience made me think about people in poor or remote areas who have to face those problems every day. And I think we should appreciate what we have today before it is too late.
Yeah, so you are young people, you're a young person, and you have the right, you have your voice to spread the inspiration to our young girls out there. So if you can send an advice for the people out there, what would it gonna be?
We may be young, but small actions still matter. Saving water today can help protect someone's future tomorrow.
Yes. And in your opinion, is there a difference between knowing someone lacks clean water and actually wanting to do something about it? So what could make a person step across that boundary?
The difference is some people just only know the problem through information, but others actually experience the problem and they realize how difficult life becomes when without water. I think people start taking actions when they personally feel the impact of the problem or emotionally connect with those who are suffering. I think that experience can change their mindset and make them want to help instead of just knowing about it.
Yeah, that's really great. And if right now I ask you to draft a social media post about the clean water issue, what do you think you would post so your peers would actually stop and read instead of just scrolling and skip other things on the social media?
I would create a post with a very eye-catching title.
Yes.
Something like, what if clean water disappeared tomorrow? So people my age would feel curious and stop scrolling. The content would be short, simple, and straight to the point, so people can easily relate to the problem. I will also include a small message encouraging people to save water and appreciate what we have today.
Yeah, I know that you used to be using AI a lot, right? For your studies and for your personal projects. And I can see that you have knowledge from tech and AI to clean water. I'm curious about one thing. What do you usually do with what you know?
Usually, I use that knowledge to make more responsible decisions in daily life. For example, I try to use AI in a smarter and helpful way. And I also share information about issues like clean water or fairness, so more people can become aware of them. I also try to turn knowledge into actions. Even small things like turning off the tap while brushing my teeth, yes, or encouraging my friend to care more about social problems instead of ignoring them.
Yeah, that's really great because every big thing starts from the smallest thing, right? Okay, so some say clean water is not just an environment issue, it is a matter of social justice. and everyone's moral responsibility. So when you hear that quote, what do you think?
I think the part that most impressive for me is social justice, because it reminds me about access to clean water is still unequal in many places. Some people can use water freely every day, while others have to struggle just to survive.
And the final question I want to ask you for today, if you can send a message to your friend, to your family, and for the audience who are watching this episode right now, what would it be?
I want to say clean water resources is a familiar part in our daily lives. It helps us in daily use like cooking, cleaning, and drinking. It also helps develop the economy of our country, is Vietnam. So, through this show, I hope you guys will understand the value of clean water resources and use it in a proper way.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's really good. Like clean water resources is not just about an environmental issue. It's about responsibility. It's about the privileges we have every day. And your sharing is exactly with the spirit of iSMART Ambassador Talk and Share. So if you guys can find this episode is interesting, you guys can share with all your friends or some people who need to hear this. And this is Ngọc Minh, and really thank you for your sharing today. So don't forget to follow iSMART Ambassador, Talk and Share to see the information from the next guest. So see you in the next episode of iSMART Ambassador, Talk and Share. Goodbye.